Shalom. I want to start off by saying Kal Halal Yamla, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Rekakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth and who rule well. Peace and citations unto the Akim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading the spirit and sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Gun, I'm the brother Quatas of Sayan, coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai with another lesson. And Lord willing, this video is edifying. Gone. So this is going to be a response video on the video that the brothers from GMS Living Waters did, spiritually recenter. And I'm going to pull the first scripture and let him break it down. Let me see. That was in Ecclesiastes 7, verse 16. And 17. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself overwise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? Gone. So this is going into how when you study too much, then you make yourself overwise. Meaning that you know so much that you're starting to doubt what the apostles brought out, through their videos. Because you only see a part, you only see the video that they brought out, but you don't know the whole matter. They have the whole breakdown. They have the unction of Yahweh Basham Yahushai. But because you know much through studying, then you are starting to doubt the teachings, and that you come with your own breakdowns and stuff like that. Be not righteous over much, meaning don't be overly righteous, trying to keep all the laws perfect, trying to be over righteous with women, that's gonna make you destroy yourself. And the second verse, verse 17, be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time? Gone. Because this lesson is going into recalibrating, rebalancing, recentering. You see? So these brothers brought out a beautiful video where they go into the spiritual recentering. And I want to further expound on that through, what I've personally been through also. But this is what he's going to say about being overly wicked.
Yeah, it said, why should not die before that time, man? You see? So you see the balance that he gave, the two extremes. Don't be overwise, don't just be in the room all day. You got a wife, the baby crying, you got the baby fasting,
fasting.
Yeah. He's sideways in the tank, you can't do that. You gotta be in tune with reality. You can't be too far elevated, you trying to levitate now, you can't do that, but then you can't be all right at every event, every club know you by name. Hey, you see that? You can't be too far over there too, man. So you got to find your center, because my center and his center is different, but it's our center. So you got to find your center within this ministry, man.
God, that's just beautiful, man. That's a beautiful point that he brought out. And he also said you have to find your balance to make yourself productive, to make you productive. Because his center and your center are not the same. He needs certain other things to fire him up, while you need other things to fire you up. So you can't just go mimicking what brothers are doing. No, man, you got to find your center and recalibrate every time something happens to you. Because this is a personal testimony with me. When my child was born, I had a certain pattern, a certain way of doing things last year, but that all went out the window when my when my child was born, because then I had to recalibrate and I was off balance, and it was noticeable in my videos, and it was noticeable in my video making, in how I was in the camp. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the brothers got on me to, like, what's up, man? What's going on? And not even that. It didn't even come that hard, but I was condemned in my mind, I'm like, oh shit, I need to examine myself. What went wrong? And then I came up with what had happened, because there's a thing of examining. You have to examine yourself continually. Examine what you did last week. Examine what you did last month. Examine what you did last year. Did you improve? Are you improving? Because as you live your life is changing. Your daily, your day to day is changing. Because we live our life. You might not have the same job. You have to have maybe you have a different job. Maybe your family is getting bigger. You're getting more children. Your personal situation is changing. So you have to recalibrate. You have to recenter yourself. You have to rebalance. And this thing of ours is a thing of balance, as the brother so beautifully broke down. That when you can be overly righteous and you can be overly wicked, so you gotta constantly recalibrate yourself. But not to fall in repetition, not to repeat myself. Let me go into the lesson. I'm gonna go to Job 31, verse 6. Job 31, verse 6. Let me be weighed in an even balance, that Yahweh may know mine integrity. Gone. And let's go into that word integrity in the strong concordance of the Blue Letter Bible. And integrity, it says tama, which means integrity, innocence. Gone. So basically, you want to be innocent. You don't want to be found guilty, because in the book of Daniel 5 and 27, it says Yahweh had weighed Nebuchadnezzar, I believe, or one of the kings at that time, and he has been found wanting. So he has been found guilty. And Job here, he says he wants to be weighed in an even balance. Let me be weighed in an even balance, and let me be found innocent. You see? And that's how you gotta be. You gotta be in balance. Let's go to the book of 1 Timothy. Verse 12. Now let me see. Let me just go to the point. Let me go to 5. This is 1 Timothy 3, verse 5. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai? And this was the point that the brothers were also making, that you are a man of the Lord, but you also are a man. You have to be a man first before being a man of the Lord. You have to rule your own house. You have to rule your own household. So how, if you can't be a leader, because Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is looking for a leader, the elect men, they are all personal, they are all individual leaders, because how are you going to govern the world if you can't be a leader yourself? So it all starts within your own household. So if you can't rule your house with the rules and laws that you have, how are you going to rule the earth? How are you going to rule the world with the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High? You see? So you got to rule your own house first. And that's what the brothers were going into, that, you know, uh, he gave the example that you want to be so over righteous that you won't do anything on the Shabbat, that your baby is crying and twisting and moaning and groaning in the bedroom, and you know, you got how you call it, you got garbage piled up to the ceiling, stuff like that. It can't be, man. You have to be a man first before you are a man of the Lord. You have to be a leader first before you can be found, before you make your calling and election sure. You know, it's a even balance. Okay, let me go to the book of 2nd Ezra. Second Ezra 14. Verse 13. Now therefore set thine house, Salakia, now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burden of man, put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and cast thee to flee from these times. Gone. So basically the point is in 13, where it speaks about, now therefore set thine house in order. And thine house is ultimately speaking about your temple, is speaking about your body, that you should take care of your temple, because it was bought with a price, with the blood of Yahushai. So keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and keep your house clean. But also it goes into your normal household. Keep that in order also, you know, because it's gonna sharpen you up mentally, you know. God. And let me end it off with this. Go to the book of 1 Corinthians 9, verse 25. And every man that striveth for mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. Gone. So let me read it again. And every man that striveth for mastery, meaning you're striving for excellence, you know, you're striving for a certain talent, is temperate in all things. So you're not overly hasty, you know, you're taking your time. Let's go into that word. According to the Strong Concordance, let me see. What's this in the Greek? The outline of biblical usage has to be self-controlled, content, you see? And that makes me think about Psalms 23, where the Most High lets you rest in green pastures, you know, meaning you're not in want of anything, you know, you're content. You know how to be base also, to be self-controlled, to exhibit self-government, you see? Because the men of the elect are going to be the next government. They're going to be the next governing body. So if you can't govern yourself, how are you going to govern the world? What I was saying, you have to be a leader first. Conduct oneself temperately. You see? So you're supposed to be governing yourself, meaning sometimes you have to abstain from certain things. Look at this. And the second definition says, in a figure drawn from athletes who, in preparing themselves for the games, abstained from unwholesome food, wine, and sexual indulgence, You see? So you have to abstain sometimes from certain things to be in balance, because how can I say it? If you give too much into the flesh, abstain from food a day or two, you know. If you give too much to the spirit, yeah, go do something carnal for a day or two, you know. Get a hobby, do something to balance yourself out, you know. So in this thing, it's all about rebalancing, examining, recalibrating, and recentering. Gun. So Yahweh Tazah, this video is edifying. And I want to say, Kal Halal Yamla, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Rekakodash, Shalom Akim.